Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another quick pick prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the featherweight bout between Calvin Kattar versus Arnold Allen. And how this one right here is I'm going to go average confidence, Arnold Allen to beat Calvin Kattar. I really wanted to go high confidence pick, but ultimately I had to shift like the odds and draw it back. I really wanted to go high confidence in Arnold Allen, but let me just go average confidence. This is his first time in a 5-round main event. But don't quote me on that. He might have fought. Nah, I think this is literally his first 5-round main event. But again, don't quote me on that. But high confidence, I think this is his first 5-round fight. And this is like Calvin Kattar like third or something. 5-round fight main event. And Calvin Kattar has been in much more high level fights than Arnold Allen. But it's not coming down to that experience in high level 5-round fights or just high level fights in general. I think it come down to who's a better winner, and I think that's Arnold Allen. Where's logic? Like, what does that even mean? Where's the mathematics to that? There's actually some mathematics to that, but I'm not a professor in that mathematics. But I can do yourself, Bob, myself to a good extent to use that to my advantage or to come up with a prediction here. But yeah, I feel like Calvin Kattar a lot of times he loses these big fights. Like you can say he has these big experience, but I think the only real big major fight he won. I mean, at one time when it was a good prospect matchup, he beat Shane Burgos. That was a good prospect matchup. But as far as like really inching your way to a title, like this is about to get you in a title fight. Well, I guess that was another prospect matchup. He lost, so he had his prospect matchup where he lost. I'm forgetting the dude's name right now, but a big Brazilian dude with BJJ. He lost to him. I feel like that wasn't like a get you the title. That was a prospective match. Like same with Shane Burgos, he beat Shane Burgos. That was a prospective matchup. But Holloway, Zabit, those were matches that could get you to a title shot. He lost in. Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe he won. That ain't that bad a record, but nonetheless, I feel like Arnold Allen's on a winning streak for the reason he is, and he's virtually undefeated for the reason he is, and he's undefeated in UFC for the reason he is. He might always like we look at his record like, he never really had a high paced fight. He did pick apart Gilbert Melendez, put like 110 significant strikes on Gilbert Melendez, and look fresh all the way through it. But other than that, like he hasn't really put a crazy pace on. He hasn't not the guy that's throwing 100 punches every single time. But you don't need to throw 100 punches every single time to win. Some people they just don't have the skill, so so it relies on just outworking everybody. But I feel like Arnold Allen, he doesn't always outwork you, but he does beat you, and that's a way. Like this is more ways to do it. Like the simplest way to beat somebody, I guess, is hey, I landed more than you, I outworked you. I might have missed 200 strikes, but I drew 400 strikes and I landed like 100 to your like 20 or your 30s. But the ways you could somebody could throw 100 strikes, you could make them miss, and you could maybe they land you more, but you could land the heavier shots. But Arnold Allen, like I said, while I linked him, like every single fight that he has in the UFC, a lot of different matches, a lot of different stylistic matchups, and he has came close to what Masvidal losing that fight some years back, and then pull off submission at the end. It's like or the Sodiq Yusuf fight got outstruck volume wise, but he landed the big shots in every single round, got a couple drops in there, got a couple takedowns, and like he knows what to do to win the fight. He doesn't have to be a guy that throw 100 strikes. He's a guy that's like a true winner at this point. You can say the same about Volkanovski on his way coming up. Volkanovski has some amazing performance coming up, but he definitely never really looked like this amazing star stud dude. But he won, and he beat guys that did look like that. And then you can say the Holloway trilogy. Like, every single fight, people were all on Holloway, but he won every single time. Well, really the first fight, but still third fight, everybody was still want to win. Like by the third fight, everybody like, oh, Volkanovski's gonna win. But yeah, they wanted the more spectacular, more flashy, cooler looking guy. But Volkanovski, the short dwarf, keeps on winning. And you got Arnold Allen, look like the schoolboy. He keeps winning. I'm not saying they the same exact parallel, they direct, but it's the same ability to find what needs to be done to win. And people say, oh, Arnold Allen's going to gas out, get this and that. Possibly, maybe, but I wouldn't lean to. I feel like Arnold Allen's a very young guy. And sub 30, 28, 29, like right in a good range. He's not like 22 and like, oh, this guy's just a greenhorn. He's like been doing it for a long time. And might not be in his prime, but he's right on the cusp of getting to his prime. And then right where he needs to be at the right time, doing what he needs to do. And like I said, he's been winning. He's been doing what he needed to do ever since he's been here. Hasn't had a setback outside of just inactivity. And I just feel like in this fight, also he's not Giga Chikaze. He's a well-rounded fighter, so he ain't gonna be so concerned about getting a takedown. If Kattar wants to go there, he can go there, and like he'll be okay with going there in any situation. And he's okay with going anywhere in this fight, and he's okay with taking this fight anywhere. And I feel like he can match his pace. and I feel like he could line those big moments. Also, the same thing, like you could take the his last fight with Calvin Cater's last fight and say, oh, he should have won his last fight. But then you can also look at like why did he lose that fight, or why did he potentially lose this fight, or what could the judges have seen to make him lose this fight? In this fight, he did outland his opponent. I did think he won this fight, but I did see why he could have lost the fight and why ultimately I guess he did lose the fight was because Josh Emmett might not have won like the straight on battle, but he won in the bouts where it was important. That's where I see another area where Arnold Allen could win. Arnold Allen could win when it matters, or where where it catches judge's eye, land these combinations, or land these chains combinations, land those big shots. Same way I say against Sodiq Yusuf, like he dropped Sodiq Yusuf a couple times, or wobbled like dropped or wobbled Sodiq Yusuf a couple times at key moments in key rounds. But it's really key moments. Every round was key. Every round is key in a 3-round fight. You need 2 of 3. And, I can take 2 rounds off. You need 2 or 3 rounds. So he did. We need that do at key moments. I feel like he could do that. Like Josh Emmett was able to do that against him. And I feel like, flat out honest, Arnold Allen's way better than Josh Emmett in my opinion. But that's just what does that even mean? But to me, yeah, I just feel like Arnold Allen can exploit the winning at moments, and also I feel like Calvin Kattar a lot of times is pretty predictable outside of this spinning elbow helicopter stuff he throws. And I feel like, yeah, Arnold Allen can win that bouts. I mean, win at different spots, like land combinations or land a big shot, maybe attempt a takedown or secure a takedown, maybe look to clinch him up. And also, Arnold Allen, like, you can say the elbows, but Arnold Allen's another thing people not looking at. He's very good at framing. He might be dirty a little bit. Like, it's not, is anything really dirty in MMA? I mean, some stuff dirty, like eye poking and, it's definitely dirty stuff, but very good at shoving his shoulder in people's face and pushing people off him when they try to crowd his face. So if somebody try the elbows, he can just duck under, shoulders, shrug them off. He does that very well. And I really think he can negate those elbows very well from Calvin Kattar. Calvin Kattar come with a lot of intensity. I feel like Arnold Allen can match that intensity. And people might say, like, y'all gonna say the cardio debate in question? I feel he will definitely answer that within this fight. I think this is a very scrappy fight, back and forth. But I think Arnold Allen ultimately wins in key moments, and he's intense at key moments. That's gonna shift the judges' eyes, and I think ultimately, like, he's gonna be, like I said, match the pace. And then in the key moments, he's gonna be the one being active and showing that winner mentality and showing why he is undefeated in UFC and why he is where he is, and put himself in line for, I guess, one step closer to getting a title fight. Probably put himself 1 fight away from a title fight or 2 fights, depending. Matter of fact, this fight will clear division. This could get him a title shot. But yeah, I think Arnold Allen, like I said, competitive fight, but Arnold Allen uses that high IQ and wins in spots. Like, he wins the fight, like a good competitive fight, but he's the guy that's throwing that little margin to get the favor of the judges and get his hand raised in this one over Calvin Kattar. So in this one, I have Arnold Allen via decision.